1 month ago, BeamNG got an extremely heavy update that shook both casual players and speedrunners, and even a whole genre of sim games built around heavy equipment. With new vehicles, new scenarios, and many changes to the UI and maps, it was a golden opportunity for the speedrunning community to become just that bit closer to becoming a beacon for those who wish to push the limits of what's truly possible. So let's jump in, look at what changed and how exactly it is already being broken by speedrunners. Among many different changes to props, maps and editor, this patch, simply called a heavy haul, brought with it many big cuts, which in BeamNG is produced by Hirochi of all companies. I wonder if Gavril has anything to say about that, but I digress. Those vehicles are one of the best examples of what is truly possible in the game where the devs know what they're doing. Exceptionally well-crafted heavy vehicles with incredible attention to detail. For speedrunners, however, it was another challenge, and a very unique one at that. One might think that it was the unique vehicles that brought issues for them, but in reality it was the UI. For a long time, the web page for speedrunners looked, well, mediocre at best. Many trials and challenges were missing without a clean way to add them. For the better part of 2025, moderators worked to try and find a clean answer to a problem of accessibility. On one side, there were challenges, scenarios, time trials and campaigns with a clean press here to try button. But on the other side, challenges like training, which were in-game forever now, with even achievements in Steam being tied to them, were only accessible via the campaign that was removed, hence were not part of the active leaderboards. This patch changed all. While some might hate the current UI, there is one thing that everyone agrees upon: how compact, efficient and effective it is in separating every single challenge into neat little categories for easy access. That's what was decided to do for the webpage as well. Many new categories were created, sometimes for just one race, sometimes for dozens, combined with the addition of literally 135 new trials that were both in-game before and added during this patch. It opened the gates for many new players to try their skill and luck with a part of BeamNG that is unknown to most. So let's not waste time and see what exactly took the most attention from players so far and how exactly is the game being broken by them. Turns out the most popular part so far is not a single challenge, it's a whole category: training. This is a returning but subtly changed version of the driver's training campaign. While some might laugh at the idea of driving very simple tracks where the requirements sometimes are to simply stop in the designated zone, reality is this is probably the hardest category to compete in all of BeamNG speedrunning. 12 different, very easy tracks mean only one thing: optimization pushed to the pixels, where the difference between a world record and a total fail is literally one corner. In total, there are 3 very easy tracks, 5 medium and 4 hard. Granted, this is a slightly changed official difficulty classification, and soon I will explain why both a 12-second one hairpin track and the track called differentials were transferred to the hard section by the community. For now, however, let's look at easy trials: precise stop, drive through a chicane and a few rather slow corners. Nothing hard, nothing unique. So of course speedrunners tapped into forbidden skills: clutch feathering and instant shifting. Cars in those 3 challenges are pretty basic, you can't really drive them wrong per se. However, each of them has one glaring issue, and it's wheel spin. Especially in first gear at low speeds. Without clutch feathering, you lose several tenths instantly. Extremely good example of this is on acceleration and braking. Just accelerate on the straight line and stop in a pretty wide zone, while both first and second place do it nearly perfectly, the current world record holder, Serzari, did a clutch feathering, and that's why his run is nearly 3/10 ahead. The same goes for beginning, with the difference being almost 3/10 as well. On the third mission, in the easy section, that's where difficulty spikes. But not in the typical sense. It's not hard to clear this track. It's literally 5 corners back to back, but clearing it fast and efficiently, that's a different story. Those cones can be used as a helping guide to understand the perfect line for the corner itself. But be aware, one slight touch and the mission will be considered a failure. Oh, and if you thought about just pushing straight, that's out of the option as well. Checkpoints prevent huge cuts. So what do speedrunners do? Precise corners, literally pixels away from the cones. Time to jump into something more difficult. 5 medium difficulty challenges are pretty simple overall, especially in comparison to the typical difficulty of the main game. There are little to no RNG, simple turns and tracks that can be finished in under a minute. The theme of precision continues, now with different vehicles. Corner speed, easy circuit, lane changing, slalom, and finally, wet corner are the names of those challenges, and it's quite literally what you should expect on every single one of those. But now, precision goes up a level. While in the previous section it was all about precise driving close to the cones, now it's this on top of checkpoints. Let's look at slalom. Why try to follow the road when you can drive straight? Granted, it's quite easy to fail, especially in the hairpin midway. And yet, some runners have gone as far as to try and cut it as well. But it's in wet corner where all the aspects of medium difficulty can be found. One corner mission, where cuts start from the very beginning. Line is extremely important here. One mistake or suboptimal path, and the loss of time is the least of the problems one should expect. Very hard difficulty starts, well, easy. Turns out the definition of hard is very different from what you might expect. It's not a minute drive through Italy with mixed surfaces, where one mistake can destroy a car, a perfect run, and your sanity. In total, there are 4 tracks: advanced circuit, rear-wheel drive handling, differentials, and hairpins. While first 2 can be described as tough, those are just a bit more difficult versions of medium challenges, with precision, different cars, and a bunch of cones. Lines matter a lot, and skill makes all the difference. Hairpins, on the other hand, are very different. A tight space, one hairpin, and a car that has big problems with wheel spin. Going slowly and smoothly is near impossible due to the limited area. So instead, speedrunners decided to go for a more precise approach with half drift. By going a bit left at the start and getting just a tad bit more space, it's possible to have an almost smooth corner. That being said, this trial has an ace up its sleeve. Cone! Right in the middle, and it's huge. Even a slight touch will fail the mission. To get the best time, you must get as close as possible to it, while making that nasty corner. And the car is not making it easier. This is the only track out of all 12 where players use clutch feathering twice. This corner is just that problematic. Finally, there is differentials, one of the hardest challenges in all of training. On paper, it's rather simple. Here is a pretty good track, go climb smaller and bigger hills made of pipes. There are only 2 checkpoints, not counting the finish, and overall it doesn't seem that bad. Until you try it yourself. Due to hills not being as smooth as one might want, the car has a tendency to hit it with the bumper and literally jump back, wasting precious seconds. It can also get stuck on the hill itself. After some testing, it was determined that the first hill can be ignored. The reason for this is the placement of the checkpoint on it. It's slightly to the left, allowing you to grab it while not even going up the ramp. On the second hill, however, skips are of no use. It's just precision and understanding of how this vehicle will work best while driving on the pipes uphill. That, of course, was only 12 out of 135 new challenges. There are new deliveries, precision parking, and evade missions. There are easy, hard, and nearly impossible challenges without a single run. But most importantly, there are a bunch of undiscovered skips and strategies ready to be found and used to set a record that might stand for years. BeamNG Speedrunning was never so open to new players, so if you wish to try, it's time to do so and establish yourself as a speedrunner. Thank you for watching. Let me know your thoughts, and if you will try to join the speedrunning community. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I hope to see you next time.